Hey gang, it's Gwen at Punkinworks back in the garage. Gonna do some glittering tonight. So I thought I would go live so you can see some of the process. So I'm just sharing with some of the groups that are out there. So if you want to give a share, that would be really, really cool of you. Hey Aunt Gina. I've got a super special tumbler that I want to do for you. Wait till you see the new glitter I got. Oh, I have to show you. It made me think of you when I bought it. OMG. Check out that pink. Alright, so tonight I have a couple orders I'm going to work on. The first one is I'm going to do a WVU cup with a blue and gold ombre. Had a lot of blue and gold ombre cups, so I'm going to try and perhaps mix this one up a little bit, just so they don't look similar to any of the other ones that I've done. And then let's see what else I have. I've got I've got two WVU tumblers, and I've got an all-white tumbler that is going to be Ohio State. So any Buckeye fans out there? Any Ohio State Buckeye fans? So I'm going to do an all-white, and I think I'm going to do a special mix of 3 different glitters for that, so it's not just a plain white glitter. And we'll have some fun. So throw up some comments. I've got comments on my phone that I'm watching as I'm mixing here, so alright, so right now what I'm doing is I'm mixing my part A and part B, using the Pro Marine epoxy. This epoxy is, I just started using this not too long ago, and I did a lot of research. It's supposed to have a really high heat tolerance, so giving it a try. And then everything that I use, of course, is FDA approved, so it's safe for putting on cups. So that's important. Alright, just mix the crap out of the epoxy so that it cures correctly. So it's exciting to see folks joining who are at home enjoying their quarantine home with me. So thank you all for joining, and if you want to just share, I would be forever grateful. Hi Miss Jane, how are you? Alright, so that looks to be good. Put that off to the side. Epoxy's really sticky, and I swear I wipe my hands probably 15 times, and you have to use rubbing alcohol to kind of get the sticky off. And I'm looking for my gloves because I just rearranged, and of course I can't find them. All right. All right, so the first one that we're gonna do, actually we kind of all do them kind of sort of together, but The first one I'm going to do is a white one, so I'm just going to prepare the glitter because I want to, like I said, mix a couple colors together. I just did a Penn State cup. I'll show you what it looks like. So this one has its final layer of epoxy on, and for this one I used this chunky white glitter. So this is a mix of fine and chunky. So I'm going to use a little bit of that. And then this one is called West Bank. And when I started doing glitters, I found out that there's so many different types of glitter. This one is actually a pearl glitter, so it's not actually super sparkly like the other ones, but it gives a really good base. And I thought because this tumbler is going to be all white with the Ohio State logo, then we'll use it so we get really good coverage on the base. And then this one, this is a silver iridescent glitter, but my intent is that if I mix the silver with the white, that it'll give it just enough sparkle. So we'll try a little tiny bit of that and see what it does. I'm going to mix these up here first before I put them on, and we'll see if it's going to work out. So I don't want it to look gray. I do want it to be white because that's what the customer had asked for, but I want it to be pretty sparkly. So I think that little tiny bit of that silver is going to make it sparkly. So this is what it's going to look like on the cup. What do you think? Miss Jane, the kids are doing really well. They're actually in Cleveland with Grandma and Grandpa. They'll be home probably after this weekend. So getting to spend a little bit of time there. All right, so the white, I like that. It's going to be white, and then the silver, I think it'll be really pretty on the Ohio State cup. So that'll be the glitter we use for that. So I'm just going to get started by dumping some epoxy. All right, that's probably a little more than I need. Take some of it off. So this is going to be just kind of a real dry rub almost. We'll use this epoxy as glue to get that glitter to stick. So what I'm doing is just rubbing it down, making sure that it's all nice and coated, but not a thick coat. So the other night we had prep night, cup prep night, and what I do to prep these cups is they're just regular stainless steel cups. These are pretty decent cups. I buy them from a supplier, and they stay hot or cold for a really long time. So they're insulated with the double vacuum sealed, all the bells and whistles. So it's a really decent tumbler that I get. And then I sand them down because they have this, not oily, but it has a film on it just from the stainless steel process. And once I sand it down, then I wash it off and wipe it off with a little bit of either rubbing alcohol or nail polish remover to dry it and get off any oils. And then I spray paint it and let it dry, and then it might need another coat of spray paint, so then we spray paint it some more. So, Miss Jane, how's Buddy doing? I know Sammy misses all of his friends too. Is he ready to go back to school? All right, so I'm starting at the bottom and just shaking it on. So you could see, oh, that's going to be so pretty. Just that little tiny bit of that sparkly holographic silver that I put in there. It's not going to make it silver, it's just going to make the white just really jump out. So nothing too complex with glittering a solid color tumbler. I do want to make sure that I get good coverage, so there aren't any spots that don't have glitter. But other than that, you just kind of take it and dump it, and I try to only mix enough for what I need so that I don't end up with a lot of mixed glitter that I may or may not use. Or I'd use it for something, just it can't go back in the original cup where it was. So what do you guys think? You think this is going to make a pretty Ohio State college tumbler? Are you digging the silver and the white? And it would figure I need just a tiny bit more. Why, thank you. I like these chunky glitters. I feel like they really give it a lot of dimension, especially when you mix it with the fine glitters, and once you put the epoxy over top of this, it'll really come to life. Alright, I'm just going to go back over just to make sure that there aren't any spots that I may have missed. Alright, so now that it's covered with the chunky glitter, I'm just going to go and just kind of tap it down so that it lays down flat. Miss Jane is saying, what type of top goes on the cup? There's a regular tumbler top that you could put either a straw in. I think the ones that I have, they slide, so you could either put a straw in or you just drink it regularly. And all the tumblers, they do come with, you know, obviously a lid, but a straw as well. All right, so that one's all done. So I'm going to set her off to the side over here. Alright, so the next cup we're going to work on, this is going to be a WVU cup. And I just use parchment paper if you're wondering what I'm doing. Parchment paper helps the glitter slide off. So for this one we'll use this real pretty blue, this gold, and then there's another holographic gold that I'll put in over top. Yeah, so Jane, you don't have to use a straw with the cups. Let me show you what they look like. So the cups that I'm working on, the 30-ounce ones, you could see they have this lid that it just slides back and forth, and then the straw would fit in there, or you could use it just to drink out of itself. It's got the rubber seal on it, and you can keep your cups hot or cold. I did a cougar cup. If you look on Punkinworks, I did a graduation cup for a boy in Charleroi. So I have the cougar logos, and I also put soccer on his too. So if she's interested, I'd be happy to do something for her. All right, so back to the glitter. All right, so pour in a tiny bit. Miss Jane, if you just want to message me, then we can chat afterwards if you'd like. All right, so this cup, the prep that went into it, sanded it, of course, and then I started with, I spray paint them outside on a cardboard box. I put them upside down because I don't want the paint to go inside the cup. So I set it on the cardboard box, and I started with the blue and spray painted half the blue, and then let that dry, and then I spray painted the yellow once that's done. You can see my spray paint work isn't perfect by any means. I think sometimes if anybody's seen on some of the pictures from the graduation cups that I did for guys where they didn't have any glitter, sometimes I think those are even harder than the glitter cups, just because, one, it's hard to keep the glitter off because I've got so much glitter going on here. But it's really hard to get a nice clean finish that you're just going to have epoxy and vinyl on. So I think those ones take just as much time as the others. So this is my other WVU cup, and I figured I would just put the epoxy on it so I don't have to change gloves 15 times. So I'll just go back and forth between the two of these cups. They'll be fairly similar, I guess. They use the same colors and such, so I'll just go back and forth between the two. But nevertheless, with the solid cups, they're a nice challenge to do, just to try and I put a lot of decals in them to make them look really nice and special, and but they're a challenge just to get that finish perfect, and I swear I'm a perfectionist, but that's okay. All right, so we've got a nice thin coat on here. I've got a drying rack off to the side. One of those closet racks, the white ones that have the metal bars. I just stick them in between the bars. All right, so we're gonna start with our blue. I like to put them in a separate cup because it'll start to contaminate. So if you keep dumping back into your original and the glitters have mixed, I don't want them to be contaminated. So the next time I go to work on a project that requires me to have just like a full blue, I try to keep the specks of gold out of it. Alright, so I always just start with the bottom. You can see some of the glitter just kind of fell off. That's okay, because it's going to be an ombre anyways. When I do my ombre, I use this little stick because it's easier to control. So whenever I want to start the ombre, I'm going to tip my cup up, because that really determines how far I'm going to let the glitter fall. So like if I lay it flat like this, I want this to be solid at the bottom, so I'm going to lay it flat so it doesn't drift anywhere. And you see how it just stays put where it is on the bottom. But then as I get closer to the middle, you'll see how I start to tip the cup and let it fall, and then when I come in for the gold, it'll kind of fall in between where the blue didn't go. So this type of glitter that I'm using is metallic glitter. So as I was saying earlier, I never realized how many different types of glitter there are. So there's metallic glitter, which is this, and then there's holographic glitter. And holographic glitter gives that sort of rainbow effect. And there's pearl glitter, which is a shimmery, not sparkly glitter, kind of like a pearl. So I just really thought glitter was glitter. And then there's craft glitter, which you don't use on tumblers because it doesn't play nice with epoxy. And yeah, all kind of fun stuff that I'm learning here about glitter. Alright, so we're at the point now where we're getting close to where I would start to angle a little bit to ombre. So I do need some more glitter in my cup. Alright, so we're solid to about right here. Now I want to start to, actually I think I'm going to come down just a little bit more before I put the gold. Maybe just another half of an inch or so. The higher you hold your hand, the less control you have over the glitter. So if I'm way up here, it's going to fall kind of all over the place. So now I'll show you what it's like when if I angle this cup a little bit and I start pouring from up here. You see how the glitter starts to fall, and that will start to make the ombre. All right, give it a nice little shake. All right, let's play with a little bit of gold glitter now. All right, so I'm going to use two different golds, as I mentioned. The first one I'm going to use is going to be this chunky one, and then so this is a chunky, it's like a medium chunky. It's not too but it's not too big, but it's not too fine. And then I'm going to come back in and fill the gaps with this holographic. So holographic, you could see like the rainbow colors. So I'm going to start now at the top end and then work my way down. So hopefully you don't get all elbows in the in the screen. Nobody wants to see my elbows. All right, so again, starting out pretty flat because we want a solid color here at the top. All right, we're getting close to that ombre line. So I'm going to show you what we're going to do here. And I swear I had to watch like 15 YouTube videos just to get this right, and sometimes I still think I got lots more practice to do. But all right, so I'm going to give it a tip so that it follows where the blue is, and then it'll start to blend. And just like that. It's all about the control in your wrist. So let me show you. This is why I like to do kind of two different color glitters. If I'm using like a somewhat chunky glitter, now I'm going to come back in with this gold holographic glitter, and as I mentioned, it's a fine glitter. So this one, I don't know if you could see on the paper, but I'll try and show you. So this one you can kind of see the size, or you could see the size on my finger, and then this one is just real fine. So what the fine glitter is going to do is, like, there's little teeny tiny holes. I don't know if you could see them, but in between the gold glitter there's little teeny tiny holes. So this will come back in and fill any of those gaps and then continue to help with that ombre. So a ton of it's not going to stick, but it's going to be just enough that the holographic effects are going to give it some extra sparkle and shine, and it'll fill in any little holes. So I don't know if you could see, but up here is where I added the holographic and it filled in, and then you can see the difference in the coverage. And this one I'm not too careful with where I'm putting it, because the cup for the most part is covered, but I just want to get in like any of those little teeny tiny holes to blend the ombre and make sure that the coverage is solid. And there you have it. Our blue and gold WVU cup. Hey Steph. So the cups are two different prices. The one that you see me working on now, those are a 30-ounce cup. The 30-ounce cups are $35. I also have a 20-ounce cup, which is they're both tall skinny cups, and the 20-ounce ones are $30. And I can personalize however you'd like, put whatever sayings, any names, any decals I can create, especially for you. All right, so we do have that other WVU cup. So I like to make it a little bit different, just because I don't want them all to look the same. So let me see if I can mix a little bit, something. What do you guys think? Mix a little something something? Got the blue. I don't know. Can't decide. I can't decide. What do you think? Should we mix a little something something? Wonder if I mixed a little bit of that iridescent silver. You certainly may, Steph. I'll message you after a while so I can get some more details. And I know you've been seeing like a lot of college cups, tons of graduation cups and college cups for the graduates. Been super fun to work on. But like I said, really any decal that you want. I was thinking about doing something cool with like a tailgate cup. I've got these new mugs that came in and they're 40 ounces. They're, my gosh, they're huge. But I want to do a tailgate cup because who doesn't need a 40-ounce tailgate cup if we can never tailgate again? All right, so I'm going to take our blue that we had and I'm going to mix in a little bit of this holographic silver just to give it some extra bling. The blue is still going to be the primary color, but I want it to just give it some extra sparkles, make it a little bit different than the last one. There we go. Now that's pretty cool. If you could see that, the iridescence in there. I'll show you. You'll be able to see a little bit more once I put it on the cup. Thanks, Steph. All right, we ready? Here we go. All right, so there's our mixed color. Still blue, but it's got this really pretty holographic effect to it. So if anybody out there is new to seeing me live, you can catch Punkinworks if you want to just go ahead and like my Facebook page and my Instagram page. We've got a lot of fun stuff going on. We're so close to 500 likes and we've got a contest going on right now. So if you help me get to 500, then I've got a cup and a wreath that I'm giving away once we hit 500. So anybody who shares will be entered into the drawing. All right, so we're getting close now to the point where we are gonna start to angle and do the ombre. I really love these two colors mixed together. Just the sparkle alone. All right, so we're angling because I want the blue to fall down into this area, but I don't want it to be solid. So angling so that it falls. You never know where it's going to fall either. Stuff is like trying to control my 5-year-old. There you go. There's our first color. I'm gonna set this down and clean up. So now this mixed glitter, I'll keep it in a cup, and depends on what orders come in next. Like I know if I do a beach cup, this would be really pretty on the beach cup. So, or a keychain. I've always got like extra stuff that, thanks for sharing stuff, extra stuff that I can put in a mold. Oh, and I'm making a wreath, so I have to show you. So I'm making a wreath, and it's for a customer whose son is going to University of Minnesota. They're the Golden Gophers, and I thought it'd be really special if I made custom ornaments to put on it. So I had some leftover glitter, and I printed their logo and stuck it in the epoxy. Now, once they're done with the wreath, they could probably use this as a keychain or what have you. So I've got a couple different ones going on. You see their little golden gopher. Look how cute he is. Little gopher. But yeah, so once these are hard, I'll put them on the wreath, and hopefully they think it's special. All right. So back in with our gold. Does anybody have any plans for the 4th of July? Or is everybody still kind of staying in? I've got some neighbors who have been lighting fireworks every day, all day, and all night, probably for the last month. And I'm already over the 4th of July. I know that locally here the fireworks were canceled to my knowledge, so it's probably a good day just to stay in and maybe throw some stuff on the grill. I think that's probably what will be on our agenda, just throwing some stuff on the grill and just kind of hanging out with the fam. All right. Home for you too, Steph? I hear ya. All right, so done with the chunkier gold. Now I'm gonna go back in with that holographic gold, which is gonna be, I think, really pretty next to that holographic blue that we did. So we'll do a side-by-side comparison of the two cups once I get this glitter on. We can see just that slight difference, what it looks like. So that's glittering, and that's glitter ombre. Hi, Robin. Hi, Kath. Kath, you're a Ringgold girl at heart, aren't you? All right, so the two blue and gold cups that we did today, we'll do a side-by-side comparison. All right, so the one on the left here is the one that I did where I added the holographic glitter, and the one here on the right is the one where I didn't. So you could see the slight difference, perhaps, that little bit of mixture made. Both pretty, but just slightly different. So if you were looking for a difference in the sizes, I have two other cups here that I had prepped. So this one is the 20 ounce, this one's the 30 ounce cup. So you can see kind of a side-by-side difference of what those are going to look like, or what those, what the sizes are. All right. Got a little tiny bit of epoxy left, but it looks like it's starting to set up. It's way too thick to put on a cup. So maybe we could stick it in a little mold. Let's see what we got special over here. You know, I have a whole ton of molds. They're in the laundry tub sink in a bucket because they need cleaned. And I swear I hate cleaning them. Just sitting there soaking and soaking. So with this little bit of glitter, I like to take some of my, whoa, don't spill, some of my dump or my dirty glitter. It's dirty because I've mixed them. And mix them up. Ooh, let's do this one. Just for you, Kath. I did a ram cup, so I've got a mixture of blue and like a yellowish. So let's put a little bit in that, a little bit of that in there, and we'll see what happens. The fun part is really when once it gets hard and you take it out, because then you can see what it ends up being like. So these are actually shaped like gems. You can tell. So I'm just going to scoop some and stick it in there, and it's really getting thick now. So this will be questionable. I've got all these little trinkets from extra epoxy sitting around. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. Just start giving them away with cups. Just random glitter epoxy. Maybe make keychains or something out of them. Get down there. Go. Oh, that's a mess. Yeah, we'll see what it does. There's a little bit more in here. Might as well do another one. I can always send these to my Rams girl, Kathy. So this epoxy will just set up and they'll get nice and hard. It'll be just like a little epoxy acrylic gem. But when you put them in the silicone mold, it makes the outside of edge really smooth. So it looks like a hot mess putting it into these molds, but I promise on the inside it's getting nice and smooth because the epoxy doesn't stick to silicone. Hence the silicone mold. Just smash it down there. And we'll see what happens tomorrow. Alright, now that I'm super sticky and I look like a fairy just deflowered me. Anyhow, just being silly. Well, that's it for tonight, gang. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for chatting. And I'll see you again soon. Later.